Today in Turkey is Turkey's National Sovereignty and Children's Day,
I know.
a national holiday. Do you have a message for Turkey on this
Oh
day?
my God, I was so very happy about it. See, what they don't understand, that what we are doing will have an effect on our children. Are we creating hell for them?
Should hope not, Mother.
That's it. We must think from the children's point of view. What are we giving them? And today is a very great day because I feel that we are really exploiting our children. We don't think about them, and the way we are mad after our own, they are maniacs, I must say, the way they are going on. But what are you going to give to your children? You have to give them peace. You have to give them joy. Are you doing that? This is only few these elderly people, they have lost their heads, I think, who are carrying it. Just think of your children. They should have a very peaceful, beautiful, joyous country. Isn't it? That should be the aim.
This should be the aim, Mother. Yes, it should.
These old Johnnies are not going to live forever.
No. This is very true, Mother. What else would I want to say? Mother, you have been awarded several prizes for peace, including, if I'm not wrong, the UN Peace Medal.
Peace?
The Peace Medal.
I don't know how many I have had in my time. See, I don't care for all awards and all that. And recently they gave one in India, it's called as the Jewel of Humanity. All kinds of, I told them I don't want it, I'll not go to Bombay, so they came to Pune to give.
Wow.
But you see, these awards and all that are, for me, of no value. Because so many get it, so many are getting it. I don't want any certificate from anyone as such. I don't need it. But they want to give, and some don't want to give also. There are some who don't want to give because, say, I am not a Catholic. So some people won't give me. Because I am not a Christian, they won't give me. It's like that, stupid. You see, I'm none of these, and they do not judge me on merits. If they judge me on merits, these awards have some meaning, but they don't.
I see, Mother. What activities does the Hatha Yoga do worldwide to promote peace and protection of children, for example?
First and foremost thing that we are trying to transform human beings to a higher level of awareness. By that, you see, so many things drop. For example, your addiction to things like drugs and all that drops off. Then so many diseases are cured, and a person becomes a very beautiful, independent personality and collectively conscious, you see. So such a group of people we can call, such a society, which is of enlightened people, can change the whole world tomorrow.
Mother, how does a person obtain this enlightenment, this self-realization, as I've heard it called?
You see, there are two things about it. That there are now very many seekers of truth. All over the world I've seen, whether they are black, white, yellow, anything. They are all seekers of truth. And what happens, that they have a power within them. Everyone has. In the triangular bone called as Kundalini, you can call it by any name. And which rises and gives you this connection with the divine. It's very, very simple thing that works out. But because the time is there, this is the time. Also because they are seekers. Because they are so genuine, that's why they get it.
When this Kundalini energy rises, what are its effects on people, and how does a person know that this energy is active?
I mean, you get a complete transformation. You see. Depends on how much you perfect it. But firstly, as we say, there are 6 enemies human beings have. And these 6 enemies are like anger, and what you can call the perversion in sex habits. Then it is also greed for corruption. Then also you have got attachments. See, they become dishonest because their son has to be helped or this and all this kind of identifications are there.
I see.
And also pride. Like we are something great and all this. It's ego problem.
Like the 7 deadly sins.
Huh?
Like the English say the 7 deadly sins of pride, avarice, sloth, lust.
English have, but now they are coming round.
English have.
Everywhere has to come round. Every action has a reaction, and they are realizing it. Now imagine they left our country without doing anything about it. How did they manage? So they also care for the world reputation. And things are changing. I agree with you. They are very much. It's a small country and they thought they have achieved a lot and all that. But it's now dwindling.
Mother, is Sahaja Yoga like Sufism, the Islamic spiritualism?
It's not Ism. That's the difference between the two. Anybody can call himself a Sufi, like this gentleman who came. He called himself a Sufi, but he was just argumentative and he said the world is so bad, this, that. But he didn't know what to say about himself, you see. So it's not an ism. It is a, ism means a kind of a, we can say, a kind of a theory, or could be a kind of a group who believes in something. It's not like that. Sahaja Yoga makes you Sufi. Sufi means cleanse. Nirmal. It means he makes you, cleanses you. It cleanses you and you get rid of all these horrible things and you become a transformed personality.
In Sufism, there is a concept of an evil nature in man called Nephis, and by disciplining this Nephis, the Sufi attains a link with a collective consciousness.
That's a wrong idea. Most of the Sufis didn't know how they became Sufis. They were born like that. And the others who talk about it is also like Tao. You must have heard about Chinese thing, Tao. When they describe a sage, the sage is like this, sage is like that. But how? How does he become like that? So that part is missing even in the Sufi theories. How you become a Sufi? Just going round and round, you don't become. By following a certain code of life, you don't become. What? Kundalini. That has to die.
So where other forms of mysticism, what they strive to achieve is where Sahaja Yoga starts.
Yeah.
Could you say that?
They try to achieve by putting pressures on themselves into all kinds of control and all that. That's not the way. You have to be a free person. With Kundalini you become a free person. Nobody has to tell you, don't do that. Just become. Becoming is the point.
Becoming is the point. Mother, how does Sahaja Yoga or a Sahaja Yogi benefit the society in which he lives?
He creates a new society of his own. And then by that others are also are helped, because they see a society where there's no greed, there's no fighting, there's no quarreling, all living together happily and enjoying each other and understanding. Another thing happens that they start seeing what's wrong with your own country, what's wrong with your own old societies, what's wrong with all the religions that are going. He just becomes a kind of a person who sees things. So, such a society is formed. And these people influence others. That's how the Sahaja Yoga is spreading so much now. Because I don't go everywhere now. They say there's in 86 countries. I haven't visited even half of them. But what happens that one person who gets it goes and gives to another. And because it is the truth, you see, it works.
It's amazing. Turkey is located in the middle of several volatile regions, for example the Balkans, the Caucasus, the Middle East, with its present conflict between Israel and the Palestinians. Can Turkey and or Turkish yogis play a role in bringing peace to these regions?
Of course, why not? Of course. Turkey has one very great blessing. It had so many Sufis. And if you read them, it's a description of Sahaja-yogis. They were all Sahaja-yogis. They didn't call them Sahaja-yogis, but they were. Because they are described to be like this, described to be like that. And when they tell about their own experiences and all that in poetry, you are amazed to see they are talking like Sajo. That's the reason, because of that blessing, Turkey has become very important for me also. That spirituality will definitely take a shape here. And maybe I always feel that Islam would be really shown in Turkey very well, and maybe that it will help people to correct their ideas about Islam.
Interesting. Mother, speaking of Islam, the actions by the Afghan government by destroying the statues of Buddha, how did this, what was India's reaction and what is Sahaja's reaction?
You see, for us, I mean, they have been a curse all throughout. Because for India, you see, India respects everything, all the religions. That's the only country which respects all the religions in a same manner. So to them it was a shock, because it's a very historical thing that when Alexander came to Afghanistan, these artists saw the beautiful surroundings they had and beautiful mountains they had. And they said, we can teach you how to hewn the rocks. They taught them that. So Indians were so grateful to them for that. And even they went to this limit to say that it's only they have taught us, otherwise we didn't know how to hewn the rocks. They have done so much work, like we have got, Ajanta. But then they found one lady called Yakshini, who was carved out. That flouted that whole idea. So the Indians knew how to hewn the rock, but they didn't want, because it would be in the rock all the time, but why not do something that can go to houses and houses. So then that idea was gone, that it's only the Greeks taught us. Doesn't matter, whosoever teaches you. I mean, there are very, very well-known structures, and we all respect it very much, no doubt. Not because Buddhist or anything, but as a piece of art also. But these people have no sense left in their heads. They believe only in destruction. Now by destroying that, do you think Islam will spread? What will they achieve out of it? Otherwise, that was the place people used to visit, they used to have tourists, all this is finished. That's the only glorifying thing they have. What else there? They don't have Taj Mahal, they don't have any one of our temples, nothing. They had only those statues. That also is lost, they don't know what was there. Vaibhav, as you can call it, their inheritance, the greatest. Many people went to see that. I also, in my relation, many people went to see those things, as we go to see Egypt. So they have lost that. Now what are they going to see? All the dead bodies?
Just rubble, Mother.
I don't know. Some sort of an idea they have about Islam.
Mother, it's been a very, very great pleasure asking these questions and listening to your enlightened views. I sincerely hope that I get the pleasure and the blessing to interview again in the future someday.
If I?
I'll say that again. I sincerely hope that I'm given the blessing to interview you again in the future someday.
Of course, anytime.
It's such an honor, Mother.
You are a very good interviewer, I must say.
Thank
because
you.
in England I have had horrible ones. So when you said I'm English, I was a little frightened,
It must be the effect of Turkey.
I think it's Scottish are better people, definitely. One interviewer came long time back, and he started asking funny questions. First of all, he said, "Why are you here in this country?" I said, "I've come because my husband has got an appointment. I've come with him." All right. But I said, "I can also ask, why did you go to India?" That's quite. Then he asked me another question, is that, what about your population? Why don't you go and do something about your population? Why is it there's so much population in it? See, I'm sorry, but if I tell you something, I hope you won't feel hurt. He says, "Yes, tell me why." So the reason is, I read the other day in the newspaper that In London city itself, every week 2 children are killed by their parents. I said, really? Yes, I have got that. So, what child would like to be born in this country where they can be killed by the parents? Shocked at it. So the children are also going to India and taking birth because there are people who love their children. So they want to be born in India. What can we do about it? Then second question he asked me was very funny about that. Why are you so poor in your country? I said, that too is, don't you think you are responsible? He said, how? He said, 300 years without taking any visa or anything, you went there, and for 3 years we lived there, looted us, then what will happen? What will, that's the net result of the whole thing. We were one of the richest country once upon a time, but you people looted us. Now what to do?
Very true, Mother.
Then he kept quiet.
Mother, a thought just came to my mind. I was reading some of the Turkish newspapers. After all, it's part of my job. An interview by the Sabah newspaper. In fact, the headline said, it was greed that destroyed you, greed that took you down. I believe that was what you told reporters about Turkey's economic crisis.
Yeah, it is true.
It is true.
See, the question is, they are such artists, such beautiful artists they are, and they make nice things out of nothing. So I don't know why they wanted to get after money and ruin their own country. You see, art that they have is sufficient to give them all the blessings of luxury. But they are not satisfied. They want to make the modern style of money. In that, then you get lost. You tell lies, you do cheat, you do everything. But as far as art is concerned, you are producing something great. And that's the real wealth of this country. But one should be satisfied with it. The thing is, if you want to have, say, Rockefeller things, then you can't. You cannot enjoy that. What we are having now in America, the recession, a big one, and everybody is passing through that recession. But art cannot have recession. So they should have taken to their own knowledge of art, to all love of art, and they would have been perfect all right. But they don't understand their own nature. And running up, everybody is trying to become American, I know, even in India.
Mother, have you travelled anywhere else in Turkey apart from Istanbul?
Not so. I would love to. This time I've kept 4 days for that. I want to go to different places, see. I haven't. You see, I'm so busy when I'm here, and then I just disappear. But this time I've been little selfish.
Mother, would you like to see Konya? Would you like to see Konya, the home of Mevlana?
I would love to see anything. I don't know what programs they have. Because they said, Mother, at least give us 4 days for that. So I don't know what is their program, whatever it is. I would love to do that.
Okay, Mother. I think that's the end of my questions, Mother.
Yeah.
Thank you
It's a
very
wonderful country. You can do a lot here. I mean, it's such a nice thing. Even this fellow is Islam. He too became all right. Now these people with the Krishna consciousness, they spread so much. And I was in LA, I don't know, maybe that is the reason they got so badly exposed. That the boys, small children who were there, children of the so-called, what to call them?
Krishna
Consciousness people, yeah. So they have grown up now, they are adults. And they have put a case against the organizers that they always used to abuse us as children. And they had to pay for only one center, I don't know, such a lot of, I mean, all this nonsense they started, Krishna consciousness, this, in that they didn't get any consciousness of the spirit. How could they do that, such a dirty stuff? And now they are mostly closing down in America. Of course, the Rajneesh has gone, that is gone, this is finished. But this Krishna consciousness was still going on. I mean, what they are doing is to sell books.
And make money out of it.
But just making money, make money. Like that. And the whole thing is exposed now.
Also here, Shri Mataji, now that this desire of people becoming spiritually enlightened, the desire is misused a lot by all this wrong knowledge people. They
There
come
are
and
people-
give seminars, all kinds of people. Even Deepak Chopra was here.
Even who?
Deepak Chopra.
Even he came here to give a seminar, and you have to pay to go to the
He's
seminar.
just
And all
minting
the-
money. He's just minting money.
And a lot of these, some people coming, I don't know who, some people are asking me, they make these kind of workshops in hotels and this and that. It's
Deepak
really-
Chopra is the worst.
I know.
He's the worst. He's made
But
so much
many
money.
others came also. with
He
all
was
this
found
knowledge.
in a hotel with a prostitute in America. All these things are there, but see, all that happened, everything happened. But people get mesmerized, I think they never see this. They're stupid. It's the last judgment. At this time, stupid will go to stupid, not coming. Very bad vibrations here. But best part is he uses my lectures.
Yes. He uses all of your lectures, and I was saying, somebody must be giving Shri Mataji's documents to him.
Doesn't matter, still he is telling the right thing.
Mataji, we have a rendezvous with the Bioenergies specialist man.
Bioenergy specialist man.
Is he here? Or, but Sadhana has gone out or what?
No, she's sleeping, resting. She's resting.
She's a sleeping person, alright? Then call him. Right, we should this too. What is the bioenergy business?
They are creating energy out of biological things like cow dung, or like with the wind, the power of the water.
Basically, Shri Mataji, they are the kind of people who have the knowledge to vibrate their energies to heal people. So bioenergists are supposed to be healers, doing what Kundalini is doing with the help, giving vibrations to the areas where the body is blocked. So some of them by touching, some of them by not touching, but by just giving vibration.
But what he told me is different.
This is what bioenergies do. And then they all have different knowledge. But most of them are basically Russian-based now, the ones we have
Russian.
around here. They are teaching this in Russia also. And they act as healers on giving energy to people's blockages.
Then you finish. Unless and until you have the energy within yourself, you should try all this stress.
Tamam. Tekrardan rica edeceğiz aydınlatması için. Anlatın.
He is himself a psychologist doctor, and he is also in bioenergy and magnetism. And he has an institution, a foundation here in Turkey to teach people and to help people with the bioenergies. And then 3 years ago, through Majid, he has come and touched your feet and your hands, and he felt enlightened. So this time he wanted to visit you again to sort of get his fuel, to get his enlightenment process going on.
Yeah, what the best is to do is to give realization to people, firstly. If you give realization to people, they'll get cured. Because that has a power by which you get connected to the all-pervading power. Once you are with that all-pervading power, that looks after mostly. So
Alfa
you,
aşamasından bahsediyorlar galiba.
Diyor ki insanların iyileşmesi için önemli olan kendi öz enerjisinin, Kundalini'nin
Çok doğru.
çakraları aşarak
Evet.
ana istasyonda birleşmesidir. Bu olduğu zaman zaten bütün o iyileşme prosesi başlayacak.
Bizim zaten amacımız insanlara bu hizmeti vermek, onları aydınlatmak.
İşte bu hizmette de diyor tek yol insanların kundalinisini uyandıracak, onlara bu aydınlanmayı sağlayacak şeyi yapmaktır, yeterlidir
Biz de
diyor.
onu
Ki
yapıyoruz.
sadece yogada esasında bunu yapıyor.
Tabii eğitimini almışım ben zaten,
Siz
uyguluyorum.
de Azerisiniz herhalde.
Ben Təbrizliyim, Azeriyim ben.
He is trying to do the same kind of things with their knowledge of using their energies to help others.
No, but one should be clear-cut about everything, you know.
But,
Sometimes it can be dangerous. If you don't know the whole knowledge and you do something, you might spoil your health and maybe that spoil the health of others.
fakat bu işleri yaparken diyor bu bilginin tümüne vakıf değilseniz
Tabii.
kendinizin de bir takım
Ben
hastalıkları
biliyorum.
yakalama şansınız
Ben
yüksektir.
18 senedir bu işin içindeyim. 18, ben 25 senedir psikoloğum, 18 senedir biyoenerji. Ben eğitimi Hindistan'da görmüşüm.
He has been doing bioenergy for 18 years and he has had his education in India, he says.
Punjab,
In Punjab.
Punjab,
In Punjab.
Punjab.
Punjab.
What education he had in
Ne öğrendiniz orada?
Orada ben enerji alanlarımı gördüler. Teorik ve pratik olarak orada ben enerjimi yükseltme, konsantrasyon gücümü yükseltme, şakralarımın açık olması.
But you have the complete comprehensive knowledge, absolute knowledge about surgery. And then you should work it out because it can create problems.
Yalnız bu konuda sahaca yogaya çok daha derin girip bütün detaylarıyla bunu öğrenmeden bu uygulamalara girmek bir takım problemleri yaratabilir,
Çok doğru.
insanı geri tepebilir. Onun için bu konuda full bilgi gerekir
Çok
diyor.
doğru, çok doğru. Biz
He
onu
agrees,
hallettik.
mother.
Because I've seen people who have done work, those they were not such good surgeries, have harmed.
Çok iyi sahaca yogi olmayan, kendisinin gerek temizliği gerek korunması konusunda fazla bilgili olmayan bazı sahaca yogiler gördüm ki bu tür işlemlerde, başkalarının tedavi işlemlerde kendileri
Zarar
hastalandılar
görüyorlar.
ve
Çok
zarar
doğru.
gördüler.
Also they must know the protection.
Dolayısıyla
How to protect
kendinizi
from
nasıl
others.
korumanız konusunda bilgi sahibi olmanız
All
lazım.
these things are a complete science in surgery.
Hani sol
Bunu
taraf
ben
kaynak.
hissedebiliyorum. Ben aura da görebiliyorum.
He says he can see auras.
That he should not.
Ki bunu yapmamalı diyor. And then he can feel inside if somebody is left or right, he says.
On the finger.
Sadece elleriyle
On
bunu
the hands.
öğrenmelisiniz.
Ellerimle.
Ellerinizle. Ellerinizde ve parmaklarınızda. Her çakranın ve her bölgenin vücuttaki burada haritaları var. Bu elleri kullanarak o gelen vibrasyonda problemin ne
Arıyoruz.
olduğunu yakalamamız
All right.
lazım.
Let's see. Let him see my auras. Let's see what it is.
Benim oramı görebilir mi şimdi diyor.
Ben 3 sene evvel görmüştüm. Yeşil bir aura görmüştüm. Ve çok geniş bir aura. Öylesine ki yani bizi o mazbe götürdü bir o şey yaptı. Ama şu anda bir şeyim vardı. Yine dikkat etsem yine o yeşil ve yeşilin üstünde bir mor da görüyorum yine. Şu anda
3 years ago, when he first met you, he saw a huge green color around you. Green. And now he says, this time I did not put my attention, but when he did a minute ago, he says he still sees that green with a little bit of purple on top.
Green with the
Purple.
Yani şey o çok geniş bir o zaman da şu anda da yani hatta o zaman da aynı kalp atışlarını hissediyordum. Şu anda da onu
Kalbiniz açık.
evet yani onu tamamen hissediyorum.
He felt it the first time also. He saw your aura, first of all, very wide. He says.
what's the meaning of green?
Peki aurada yeşil görmenin şeyi nedir?
Kendine hakimiyet, sevgiyle herkese bakmak, efendime söyleyeyim, ruhsal alemi çok geniş olan bir insan morla karşıladığı zaman
Especially when it is mixed with purple, very deep in the spiritual world, very connected, very powerful in controlling the energies around,
Green.
and green. And also big, like mother's love towards people. That is green, he says.
Really? But
And for the first two times, first time he saw, and this time also, he's also feeling his heartbeat is going up.
Ya, bir de bunu söyleyeyim ki ben 3 sene evvel ki beni aydınlattı ve yine de isteyeceğim aydınlatmasını. Ondan sonra benim önsezliğim de bütün şakram çok arttı yani onu hissediyorum.
After meeting you 3 years ago and got his enlightenment, his powers and his feeling observations has grown up immensely. And this time the reason he came here is for that hunger. So he wants to have
what I'm
the
saying, that it takes hardly any time.
Evet o da o soru şöyle.
also they say, the lady said that they also see a white light coming out of your head, going upwards.
But when you are in that you don't see. When you are in that,
Yes, you don't see.
when you are outside, then only you see.
Asansör.
Yani içindeyken bunu göremezsiniz. Dışına çıkınca ancak görebilirsiniz diyor.
Neyin içindeki?
O
Enerji.
enerjinin.
Tabii. Ben bir de çok yani görmemeye çalışırım yani bu şeydi ama
And he says he tries not to see with
Best
everybody.
is not to see the best state. When you are inside,
Aynen.
you don't see.
En tekamül etmiş boyut onu görmeme boyutudur.
Evet,
Çünkü
onu
içinde
görmem.
oluyorsun.
evet.
Gördükçe içinde olamıyorsun. Onun için
Görmemeye-
görmemek
evet,
daha iyi.
Görmeye çalışıyorum yani onu ben hissediyorum.
See, so judging by the aura will be all right, but not for you. You are not there. You have to be inside.
Birisini aurasına bakarak yargılamak veya tedavi etmek iyi olabilir o karşı taraf için. Ama şahsın kendisi için iyi değil. Çünkü içinde kendi olamamanın
Çok doğru.
şeyini
çok doğru.
yaşıyor diyor.
Çok doğru.
Dışında olmanın
evet.
dezavantajını yaşıyor diyor.
Ona telaş ediyor. Yani biz hele sıfırdayız yine düşünüyoruz ki sıfırdayız yani.
Well, he says he still thinks he's starting from zero, so he's learning.
So here we have some people. He should come to them and understand surgery very well, master it.
Türkiye'deki sadece yoga ile ilgilenen arkadaşlarla daha sıkı irtibatlı olup sadece yoga bilgilerini
Çok doğru.
daha fazla özümsemenizi
Evet,
öneriyor.
biz-
By that he will be safe himself,
Bir numara kendini koruyabileceksin
one thing. And another thing is, whatever he do will be perfect.
ve yaptığın her şey mükemmelleşecek, daha mükemmele doğru gidecek.
No guesswork.
Mükemmel olacak.
Biz bu derneği kurduktan sonra yeni biz sizin derneğinizden haberdar olduk inşallah. Düşüncemiz şu bu konuyla ilgilenen derneklerin arasında bir koordinasyon da yaratacağız. Hatta ben üye de olacağım size. Efendime söyleyeyim şey yapacağız yani.
He wants to be a member of the Sahaja Yoga Foundation here, and he wants to have the combinations between also their foundation, which is called the Bioenergy Foundation.
But first you must have the knowledge, perfect.
Bilim.
Evvela bilimini, bu
Bilim.
işi öğrenin.
Biz bu şöyle diyeyim ki Türkiye'de bu konuyla ilgili yani biyoenerji olsun falan olsun bunlara bilimsel bakmıyorlar. Birçok insan biz bir kere bunun bilim olduğunu ispatlamaya çalışıyoruz.
He says we are already in Turkey trying to prove people that this bioenergy is scientific. So this why I already very well know that Sahaja Yoga is a science.
There could be complications, you see. So you must know what is this, what is happening, what people are catching, what are their problems, how to get it. Exact.
Bunu tam doğru, %100 doğru bilmek ve perfect bir şekilde yapabilmek için bu bilgiye tam vakıf olursanız bu enerjilerinizle zaten var olan çalışmalarınız. Çünkü sizin türünüz çalışmalar bir takım komplikasyonlara neden olabiliyor. Yapana da karşı tarafa da. Buna mani olmak için Sahaja Yoga metotlarıyla bunu yaptığınız an perfection geliyor o zaman. Mükemmeliyet geliyor.
You have to raise the Kundalini, give them realization.
Ve size gelen herkesin kundalinisini yükseltip onlara bu aydınlanmayı sağlamamız.
Everything.
Yapıyoruz. Bunu yapıyorum ben. Sonra da bu enerjilendir tepasında
İşte Shri Mataji bunları yaptığınızı biliyor ama diyor ki yetersiz bilgiyle
Ha.
bunları yaparsanız bazı sıkıntılar
Ben
yaşayabilirsiniz.
hatta ne yapıyorum?
Full bilgiye sahip olmanız
Ben
lazım.
hatta ne yapıyorum biliyor musunuz? Bazı hastalarıma sizin yerinizin adresini veriyorum. Orada ücretsiz yoga kursları veriyor. Oraya gönderiyorum bazen.
He is even sending some of his clients, some of his patients to Sahaja Yoga Center.
Yeah, yeah.
Why don't you do? You should master it yourself.
Peki sen kendin niye Sahaja Yoga'yı master etmiyorsun diyor.
You should become a master very easy.
Bunu ben kimden öğreneceğimi bilmiyorum.
He says he doesn't know who to learn it from.
All of them.
Bütün Sahaja Yogiler.
Tamam. Tamam gel.
Salim continue.
Selim diye bir...
Ha Selim. Onunla tanışmıştım. Ben sonra onun telefon kaybettim.
He already knows Selim, but he
Yes.
lost his telephone number,
Yeah.
he says.
Ben gene
Salim is there.
Semra.
Gajanan is there.
Tamam.
We have a lot of people.
İrtibat kurarsanız arkadaşlarla
Tabii kesin
size
adres
bu
aldık.
konuda
Hem telefonu hem adresi aldık. Geleceğiz biz size.
So
they are
I
coming.
know.
They are coming, they say, to
Yes.
the Sahaja Yoga Center.
Çok güzel. Biz yani gerçekten de
The first point is that first you know yourself. That's Sajo.
Sahaja Yoga da birinci öncelik
kendinizi
kendini tanımak.
biliyoruz evet. Ve kendini korumak.
Ondan sonra geliyor. Kendini
Evet.
tanıyarak başlıyorsun. Başkalarına yardım etme noktasında olmak için de. Çünkü bütün kanallarınız açık. Başkalarına yardım edeceğim diye kendinizi korumadan girerseniz o açık kanallardan
Ben şöyle diyeyim size, ben
negativite size
gittik.
girebilir.
Evet çok doğru. Ben onu koruyorum ve bunu korumasını insanlara diyorum. Ve
Siz
ben,
hangi yöntemle koruyorsunuz mesela?
ben meditasyonla koruyorum.
He says he is already trying to protect himself from his patients by meditation. But if he learns all the techniques of Sahaja Yoga,
Ben
I think
sadece
he
o da biliyorum. Zaman zaman onu
Procedure comes
kullanıyorum.
only through search.
Ben zaman zaman mesela o şeylerim kendimi düğümlerim sonra seansa mesela başlıyorum.
Evet, işte onların tam bütün ince detaylarını arkadaşlar.
Teksirler de var bende. Ben zaman zaman onu okuyorum ama yine dediğiniz gibi
Well,
sık sık.
he has some knowledge of Sahaja Yoga and he's reading some but not enough. He should perfect it. Diyor ki Sahaja Yoga bilginizi
And one thing he will not see
Yok,
colors or
özellikle
anything,
böyle
with
gözü
auras, he
mükemmel.
will not see.
ve o zaman görecek ki diyor auraları falan görmeyecek. Görmediği zaman da memnun olsun.
Ha çok iyi. Evet yani bu ben gördüğüm zaman da üzülüyorum. Mesela bazen avralar çok berbat oluyor. Üzülüyorum yani. O doğru diyor yani.
He doesn't want to see himself either, Shri Mataji.
You have to be perfect, that's all.
Fakat bir geçiş noktası var. Ben onu söylemek istiyorum. Bir yerden bir yere geçiş yaparken enerjilerle uğraştığınız zaman meditasyonlarda ilk anlarda o enerji alanlarını görmeye başlıyorsunuz. Çok doğru söylediniz. Fakat ondan sonra bu kaybolmaya başlıyor. Kaybolduğu zaman acaba sizde kaybolan bir şey de var mı diye bu sefer sorduğunuz zaman aldığınız cevap içsel bütünlükten hayır, olgunlaşma. Fakat neyin olgunlaşmakta olduğunun sorusu.
Shri Mataji onu demin cevapladı.
Evet.
İçinde olmak
Evet,
ve dışında
evet.
olmak.
Şimdi onu algıladım ve ona teşekkür ediyorum.
She just realized because she also knew that some things she saw also. After she gets deeper and deeper, she started not to see. And she didn't know why, and she got the answer from you.
Because if you see from outside, it is there. Supposing you are outside the sea, you can see the sea. But if you are inside the sea, what would you see?
Mesela bir sahilde oturup denize baktığınız zaman denizi görürsünüz. Ama denize dalarsanız denizi göremezsiniz.
Göremezsin. Çok güzel.
Çok güzel.
Evet. Bir de kendisi söyleyin ki 3 seneye kıyas daha gençleşmiş.
There is the compliments. Since 3 years ago, you've become younger, mother. Yes.
I've gone working like this, I don't know.
Gerçekten de çok.
Ben devamlı çalışarak diyorum.
Evet. Evet, biz de hep öyle çalışıyoruz sabahtan akşama kadar ve insanları bilgilendirmekten başka bir şey düşüncemiz yoktur.
Niyetinizin çok temiz olduğunu anladığı için size ısrarla sadece yogilerle irtibat
Kesinlikle.
kurup daha derin bu konuda
Kesinlikle.
bilimsel hatta katkılarda bile bulunabiliriz.
Biz fazla zamandan almayacağız. Bize bir tavsiyelerini söylesin de bir de elimizden, alnımızda neler yapacaksa ancak ben daha çok aydınlanmak, daha çok
He wants to be enlightened more and more, and he would like to hear your last words to them before they leave, so that they can regulate their lives accordingly.
See, there are stages in search of it. One is called as thoughtless awareness. I've made it even shorter than Patanjali. He said first it should be awareness with the thoughts. Then second stage he says there should be thoughtless awareness. Then the third stage he says should be what we call nirvikalpa, that there should be no doubts. But he says first you will have doubts and samadhi with the doubts. But then you have no doubts. So this is the fourth state. When you go beyond that,